If you were to ask me what anime I was most looking forward to this year, I would have easily answered My Hero Academia Season 5, and for multiple reasons. The main reason I was excited for Season 5 was because it was going to be animating My Villain Academia, one of the best arcs in My Hero Academia. But even MVA being animated this season didn't save it from being just straight up bad. And while MHA Season 5 was being some hot mid this season, there was another anime in Netflix jail patiently waiting to be released. And now that time has come. Eden Zero will be released from Netflix jail on August 26, 2021. If you weren't watching Eden Zero illegally, now is the chance to finally get into the series. But before we get into this video, make sure you guys gravity comment that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you never miss another video. Gravity fist that like button and make sure you share this video just so the Eden Zero hype can get bigger. But without further ado, let's talk about why you should watch Eden Zero. Eden Zero was created by Hiro Mashima, same author of Rave Master, and everyone's favorite series, Fairy Tail. Now look, I know Fairy Tail is a series that gets a lot of love online, and I know just by me saying the words Fairy Tail, a lot of people just went ahead and clicked off the video. I'm here to reassure you, I know Fairy Tail has some flaws, but overall I still really enjoyed it. And as a fan of Fairy Tail and a fan of Rave Master, I decided why not, I'll check out Eden Zero. And the manga has been some absolute fire, dog. In my opinion, I think Eden Zero is better than Fairy Tail. And yes, I unironically used the greater than sign. Eden Zero is a story that follows Shiki Granbell, an orphan raised by robots on the deserted theme park planet Granbell, meets and befriends Rebecca and Alright, so like at this part I just started explaining the plot of Eden Zero, and honestly it was really fucking boring, so I'm gonna save us both the trouble and we're just gonna skip to a more entertaining part of the video. But for all the good things that Eden Zero has done, people still give this series 0 ratings. And it's mainly due to the character designs. It's the first thing people notice when they see the pictures of Eden Zero characters.
Oh my god, that's Gray and Happy. Oh my god, that's just Lucy. That's literally just Happy.
Which, yeah, Eden Zero does look similar to Fairy Tail, and that's literally just Happy. Kinda. But those same people also forget to say that Fairy Tail and Rave Master look alike. And it's because it's all Mashima's art style. He likes to pay homage and sneak in Easter eggs from his previous works, which is honestly really cool to experience the references of Fairy Tail and Rave Master in Eden Zero. And if you went back to Fairy Tail, you'll notice some Rave Master Easter eggs. But in all honesty, I don't know why people complain about Mashima's style. I mean, not only is his art good, he also blesses us with some thick waifus, dog. You might not like Mashima. You might think his art sucks, but there's one thing you can't deny, and is that this man knows how to draw some fine ass women. Rebecca alone has that dump truck of a wagon behind her. Alright, let me stop. Listen, don't let the design similarities discourage you from checking out Eden Zero. I promise you, once you get to know these characters, you'll see that they are drastically different from their Earth 1 and 2 variants. Alright, let's talk about the animation. The animation in this series is actually really solid. It's pretty consistent throughout the series, and there are very few times where it's actually kind of lazy, but overall those lazy moments of animation are kind of forgettable, so it really doesn't impact the rest of the show. Now listen, the animation for this series isn't on par with Ufotable or Mappa, but I'll say it's on par with Studio Bones when they're at their best and not wanking off. But this series certainly is no 7 Deadly Frames. Eden Zero has this unique aspect where when a big signature attack is thrown, they do a freeze frame on the move and proceed to put kanjis on the screen. At first I wasn't a fan of this because I thought it slowed down the fight. Honestly, I really have grown to like these, and it makes the attacks seem more unique. I'm gonna give the animation for Eden Zero a solid 7 out of 10. And while we're on the topic of animation, I want to talk about the art style briefly. As a manga reader, I think the anime did a fine job adapting the art style of the manga. It's not as highly detailed as in the manga, but not a lot of series really improve the manga art unless you're Demon Slayer. But the art style in the anime is really solid. But the biggest L has to be the design of the planet. For example, the planet Sunjewel in the anime, it's alright. It's not horrible, but it could be so much better. It's got some infinity stones floating around it. Might be getting a visit from the TVA soon, if you know what I mean. But look at Sunjewel in the manga. Look how unique it is. Speaking of planets, let's talk about the world building. The world of space. Wait, is it still called world building when the story doesn't take place on a single world? Is it called space building? Universe building? I kind of like that. Let's go with that. The universe building in this series is amazing. If you're a One Piece fan, you will love how expansive and alive this universe is. Each planet not only visually looks different, but it also feels different when you're on it. Each planet feels like its own separate community with its own rules and regulations. Sunjul is the personification of slavery or white power. One part of the planet is populated by poor people and criminals, and they spend their entire lives mining and fighting in these mines in order to pay off a debt that will never go away. And the other part of the planet is just like a paradise where you live lavishly and overall stress-free. Granville, the planet that Shiki came from, is filled with robots and is basically just a giant Disney World amusement park. The planet Digitalis is a virtual planet that basically is a video game server. You can only access Digitalis by plugging up your nerve gear and basically uploading yourself to the servers. It's basically just World of Warcraft, but on fucking steroids. Then there's planet Miladion that just decided to be edgy and exists outside the flow of time. Actually, the entire Eden Zero series just gives Father Time the middle finger, because time in this series means basically nothing, which is a perfect segue to one of my favorite things in the Eden Zero manga, the Chronophage. The Chronophage is a space creature that basically feeds on a planet's time. So like, for example, the Chronophage can eat a planet and then take 50 years off of it, basically sending it back in time while it also exists in this time. It's kind of like de-aging a planet in a way. And the thing with the Chronophages is that it's unstoppable. There's no way to prevent it. The only way to avoid it is just by getting up out of there, or you're just like gulag. Alright, last thing I want to talk about in this video is the music. First of all, the first OP is a fucking banger. That first OP's got me like... absolutely love that opening. I honestly think it's the best opening this year next to Tokyo Revengers. But overall, the OSTs are really nice in this anime. The OSTs are perfect for space-bound adventures. And the main OST is very fun, especially when they use it in space and they show all this cool shit. Overall, Eden Zero is a series that I really enjoyed from the manga and up to the anime, and I honestly think that you should check it out too.